Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome everybody, Chris back with another fragrance review. And this time it's all about autumn, right? The fall of the year, when the leaves are falling from the trees and you smell the fantastic smell of the forest or vineyards, you know, the harvest, the grapes, and many things that are very special and specific for the autumn time, for the fall of the year. Now, everybody has, I think, favorite fragrances that you are wearing during this particular time, and I do have mine, and I brought them along as if by magic. They're here with me. It's 7 fragrances, so it's not a top 10, not a top 5, it's just those 7 fragrances that I prefer to wear this particular fall 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the lineup. Start the lineup with a great classic from the Austrian house of Knizia. Knizia 10. The fragrance of Marlene Dietrich and James Dean. I think the year is 1924. It's a fantastic musky, floral, leathery fragrance, unbeatable for the fall. It's a tremendous masterpiece and a must have for any top whatever for the autumn time. That was Knizia 10. Another fragrance that is a must for the autumn time is the great late Gianni Versace's The Dreamer, a great floral tobacco scent, which is very romantic and very special and totally stood already the test of time. Gianni Versace's Dreamer for me is one of the best autumn fragrances ever released. It's very sensual, very romantic, and has a bit of an artistic touch to it. I love it to bits. Professional wear for the autumn, I choose to use L'Instant de Guerlain, one of the great masterpieces of this century. It is such a well blended fragrance that it's hard to put into words. I did a top 10 recently of this century. This was on spot number 1. It is just a perfect combination of warmth, of freshness, and of sophistication, done in a French way. L'Instant de Guerlain. This is the recent Eau de Toilette, but the performance is fantastic. Even for an Eau de Toilette, it overperforms many Eau de Parfums. Let us dig deeper. Karl Lagerfeld. In 1997, on the 27th of August 1997, released a fragrance called Jaco, named after or in honor of his late partner, and a villa, a building in Hamburg that he owned at the time, called Villa Jaco. And this is a fantastic, almost gourmand, sweet vanilla plum fragrance, which is so extremely cozy, like a nice warm autumn time sweater. This is the impression that it gives me. Fantastic fragrance. Lagerfeld Jaco has to be there for me to feel cozy this year. Let's go further. Adidas released a fragrance called Active Bodies in 1990. This is a great aromatic, fresh, piney, old school type of Adidas fragrance, and it has changed. This is a new relation. This is the Coty version, but good news for everybody that the Polish house of La Rive has released this fragrance called Athletic Man. And this is basically a copy of the old original vintage formula of Adidas Active Bodies. Because the Adidas version is not the same as it used to be in 1990, but La Rive Athletic Man has preserved the original Adidas Active Bodies from 1990, which to me is a must-have. It's a fresh, aromatic, spicy, piney, old school type of fragrance, but with a modern touch. You know, the turn of the 80s to the 90s was an era where many such fragrances came out, and this is one of the masterpieces of that period of time. So now we are in spot number 2, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most the bravest releases ever, in my opinion, in male fragrance history is the Baron. released by the house of Evian in 1961 or 65. And the Baron refers to an Austrian gentleman that founded the house of Evian and released this fragrance. Prior to that, there was a female fragrance called White Shoulders. This is the Baron, the first release of that house. Now it's being made by LTL Fragrances, New York City, and this is one of the most extravagant floral fragrances ever made. It says it's a cologne, but one sprayer is enough for the entire day and even beyond that. Amazing fragrance, great floral fragrance, and they say Elvis Presley wore this. Not exactly sure, I can't really imagine it, but maybe it's true. So the Baron on spot number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Spot number 1, my favorite fragrance for autumn time, is a very simple release by the house of Polo, a German designer house that has released this back in 2006, and that is the fragrance, a fantastic modern take of Boss Elements. If you remember Boss Elements, it was always part of my wardrobe for autumn time, but this is even better. The nutmeg in this is being done in such a nice, fresh way that it is unparalleled to me. It's even better than Boss Elements. It's been discontinued. It's just simply called Marco Polo Man. And the performance of this fragrance, I use good 8 to 10 sprays with this, but then it lasts for the entire day. You mix it up with hair, I mean you spray it on hair and on clothing. It's fantastic. It's an outdoor scent for such occasions when you're out on your own or with your family, have a nice excursion at the autumn time. It keeps you fresh, yet aromatic, fresh, spicy, and you will get tremendous compliments on that with this fragrance. Not that I'm seeking them, but I got some compliments in regards to this particular fragrance. This is autumn time bottle from me, Marco Polo Man from 2006. And that was Chris coming to you from a nice park, having a nice excursion here with my beloved, lovely, great family, kids, my wife, everybody's around, so it's a feel-good time. I have the Baron on here, right? You smell the Baron and Marco Polo Man all over. So I'll leave you with this nice scenery. You can see the autumn colors with the leaves already taking shape. So cheers and see you soon for another review. Take care.